Good morning. Welcome to our soulful Sunday. Let's start the Sunday with some magic, with some soul of our spirit, and let it dance. Today is all about a new beginning. Let's see what's coming our way. So without further ado, let's have the music on, sir. Let's manifest our dreams and play this game of life, which we love living so much. So there we go. Yes. I love the game of life. Let's play it once again. Yes. Each one a winner for life. How wonderful. Let's start the day with our reading of a book, Magic Weight Loss Pill by Lou Cotino. Would anyone want to read today? I can hardly see readers. Yes, Sanya is here. Thank you God for that. Thank God for some mercies, Sanya. I do have some people who are always there. I know they have my back. Thank you. So yesterday we talked about growing did we talk about growing a herb and vegetable garden? Yeah, we did, right? We did talk about microbes. Today we are on fact number 52, practice minimalist living. Very important. And very few of us know how to do that. So let's read about it. Yes, Sanya.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Practice minimalist living. Practicing minimalism has a very powerful effect. You may be wondering how this helps you lose weight. When the focus shifts from having variety to necessities, you tend to be more relaxed and mindful. You need to ask yourself, how many pairs of pants or tops do you really need? How many shoes and bags do you need? How much space and how many gadgets do you need? How big does your home really have to be? Keep going till you have covered all aspects. If something is not truly adding value to your life, cut down on it. You will also automatically begin to apply this to your food choices and lifestyle. Look around your home, your workplace, in your cupboard, drawers, etc. If you haven't used something in the last 3 to 6 months, and if it isn't necessary, get rid of it. Don't be attached to things you don't need. Declutter your surroundings and your mind. A decluttered mind is more mindful and is able to make more informed decisions.
Very important to understand, when we start decluttering our life, maybe just the table around where you're seated right now, maybe just your almirah, maybe it's just the room that you live in. All of this makes a big informed decision on your subconscious mind. When there is stuff that you just need, that is when the body starts even behaving and you will lose weight. Very weird to think of it, right? But that's how it is. So if there's less stuff, there's just exactly what it is. That's exactly how the weight is. Your weight is more because your life has too much more going on around. When you start making less stuff physically, your weight also drops because you'll have less weight physically. That's also how beautiful it is. So just try it. It's not too tough. And if you try it, it's going to really, really, really work. So again, we are being told to detach ourselves from things that are not required. Think about it and make an informed decision. Let's read now the Ikigai. In the Ikigai, we're again going to be summarizing as we have been in the past few days. So today we're going to be talking about something that triggers all of us in a life of, we've talked about longevity yesterday. Now there's some traditions, some proverbs that get older people going, and that is what a sense of today's learning is all about. So if we are going to this beautiful country and you're going to meet people, what we'll realize is in the next page, 104. So we realize that I'm going to read from the excerpt on the third paragraph, so you can see where I am. So Tyra points out that these groups of people who help one another are characteristic of Ogimi. Now they are also called club or Muay. The Muay are not organized around any concrete objective. They function more like a family. Tyra also tells us that volunteer work, rather than money, drives much of what happens in Ogimi. Everyone offers to pitch in, and the local government takes care of assigning tasks. This way, everyone can be useful and feel like part of the community. So very important to have a community, very important to grow with people who you are comfortable with, who you like, who are there for you. Just that is so, so, so beautiful. Now, in the last line on page 105, it says, slow food prepared with organic vegetables grown in the town. In the town. Get this very, very, very clear. It's all about slow food. In the next page, they're very categorically mentioning that food is the least important thing. Food won't help you live longer. Yes, it may be tasty, it may be whatever, but that's not a priority in this beautiful village where people are super centenarians. The secret is smiling and having a good time. So that's why food is the least priority. And Japanese, anyway, all of you know, eat very, very, very small portions. So it's never about the food. It's more about the community. It's more about the freedom. It's more about the smiles. It's more about having a wonderful time. So that is what people are looking at. They look at celebrating cultures, festivals, social activities, and that is what this is all about. Now, the community center is very beautiful the way all of this is done. So every neighborhood has a community center where they get it wrong, they play. Now here we're talking about a birthday party. This birthday party is of a woman who's turning 99. And 90, and there's a man who just reached 89. They're talking about people. Now they're very beautifully young. They could be however old, but they're young. They're singing happy birthday songs, they're blowing candles, they're making homemade chikuwasa cakes. Chikuwasa, if you remember, we talked about, it was a citrus fruit, something like the Indian kinu or the Malta that we have, the juices. In the next page, they're talking about how they're just partying, they're dancing, they're having a good time, they'll do a karaoke, and they're just out there to have a great, great, great time. They're celebrating each day together. Now, celebrations are a very, very, very important part of Agimi culture. They are invited for so many, like they play matches together, they see them together, they sit down together. Their weekly games are an important part of it. Everyone's cheering, everyone's hooting, everyone's having a great, great, great time. And as a community, spirituality is also essential to the happiness of the village's residents. So I know it's too much to ask for it, but if in your city you have your Sangha Mitras, see if you're getting together, see if it works, see if you're developing a Muay. You never know when life changes how, because you're all resonating in the same fact. It doesn't matter whether you continue a journey or you're taking a break here, just that because you are empowered. You don't need to continue the journey. If you think that you have it, you've done it, fantastic, more power to you. Read books on your own, keep learning, keep encouraging yourself to take the next limit. Just be limitless. Just understand one thing. We don't have to define ourselves into something which is like a ritual, which is like a custom. But yes, grow up with something in life which you look forward to. You want to call that ritual? Go ahead. You want to call them custom? Go ahead. But don't be blindly driven by it. Spirituality is a very important aspect, and that they're saying is more superior to religious practices. Now, you are choosing yourself to be in a particular area, in an area where you're uplifting each other. Now, that's more important. So, of course, in this Gods of Okinawa, they're talking about religion. We're not going to go about that. Spirituality is important. Number 110 page, please. So now every person has an essence or mabui. This mabui is our spirit and the source of our life force. It is immortal and makes us who we are. So in some books, in The Power of Subconscious Mind, we've talked about higher self. It's also the soul. Sometimes the mabui of someone who has died trapped in the body of a living person is also functional. So there are separation rituals for that. When you do the book Unified, you will realize that each one of us has some of the other extra spirits coming on to us, working through us, because they need a physical contact to do their journey, to complete their journey. So of course, we will be talking about this in Unified. And I did mention to Karishma, I was guided that we start this journey of Unified on 21st of October 2021 at 7 a.m. in the morning. Every Sunday we'd have it. And she would be the reader and I would just kind of take you guys through it. It's a very, very beautiful book. And I'm telling you, please, if you want, you can involve your little children also. It's not tough at all. And if you get empowered with these learnings of this book, you've nailed life. You don't need any other book, any other session, because Unified in itself is a lifelong course. It's absolutely magical, beautiful, very, very, very helpful. And the best is it's going to become a lifestyle. You'll never forget it. So as to I believe. Now, there's another belief in this Ikigai book. And when we talk Mabui, we're talking about whatever. They're also talking about the older, the stronger. As they're growing, they're more relaxed. As they're growing, they're looking at pushing each other. They have a sense of calmness. They're never rushing. They're following the Ikigai because they've all found the Ikigai. That's something why we started this book all about. The number 2, you find things that you like. Yesterday, I had a word with another Sangha Mitra for us. She says, "Ma'am, I found my Ikigai." But then I made her realize that she'd only found half of it. Things that she loves and things that she's good at. She hasn't found that what the world needs and what she can be paid for. So please keep working on Ikigai until you find it. We still have 10 odd days to go. You can do it. It's not a big deal because this book is not coming soon, but it's always there with you. You can read otherwise. So they also are pretty much into longevity water. What is longevity water? It's all about, they say it's a magical elixir. They say it keeps us healthy and strong. It's just from one of the springs which are hidden in the Yanbaru forests. Again, that's a belief of theirs. That's just the belief that this water makes them look young. So it's not like we will find that to make us look young. But please understand that they're all about a ritual. They're all about a belief. They're all about togetherness. Now, in the gray box, it says a declaration from a town where the people will live longest. At 80, I'm still a child. When I come to see you at 90, send me away to wait until I'm 100. The older, the stronger. Let us not depend too much on our children as we age. If you seek long life and health, you're welcome in our village, where you will be blessed by nature. And together we will discover the secret to longevity. This was said on April 23rd, 1993. So yes, for me, it's a cue. April 23rd is Prashant and my anniversary. So yes, together stronger, we'll discover the secret to longevity. So yes, so it is. Whatever you believe is how life will unfold. If you seek a long, happy life, where you're living a life with your purpose, your life's mission, how wonderful. And if you are blessed with Mother Nature, you spend time with Mother Nature, you are anyways going to have a deeper healing. And if you start unclutching your life, what better? It's a symbolic healing as well. Now, when these people were interviewed, and there were a lot of people who have been super centenarians, so what did come across? Few facts came across the entire people. First was, don't worry. Don't let it, just keep your heart young. Don't let it grow old. Open your heart to people with a nice smile on your face. If you smile and open your heart, your grandchildren and everyone else will want to see you. Isn't that beautiful? And let's face it, today, if any one of us is to go, and if we all go for the obituary section, what are we going to be talking about? Love, heart. Will anyone be saying, oh, Prakash had 1,000 crores, yeah. Oh, Pratima ji had 500 crores. Oh, she was. But what they'll say is, they always laughed, they joked. Oh, for Prashant, oh, he had this, he had that. No, they'll always say, oh, his smile went to his eyes. Pratima ji's soul was beautiful. It did a dance. It was always so beautiful. This is what people remember. So the best way to avoid anxiety is to go out in the street and say hello to people. I do it every day. I go out there and say hello. Have you really seen Indians doing that? If you go overseas anywhere, they're always like, hi, good morning, good morning. They're like always out there, even if you don't know each other. But India में बहुत कम लोग करते हैं. Old people still do it. बेटा जी ठीक हैं आप? It's beautiful. So start doing that. Start saying hello. Because the minute you sing hello to people, you sing hello life. I applaud you. I welcome you. So spend some time. Take care of your kitchen gardens. Take care of your flowers. Take care of your greenery. And spend time with your friends. Why are friends being specified here again and again? Because children will have a life of their own. So will grandchildren. And then you'll say, oh, they don't have time. But friends will always have time because friends are the family you choose. So yes, do that. Have fun. Cultivate good habits. Very important to do this. And it takes nothing to cultivate a good habit. Just the very intention. And once you start enjoying it, it becomes organic in your part. Then you don't have to really effort. Like the morning sessions now. It's not like it's an effort to wake up now. Today, it was an effort for Prashant and me to wake up. We slept at about 1:30, partied hard last and crashed on our bed. So in the morning, we didn't do any our meditation, our manifestation, nothing, because it's okay. It's Sunday, we plan to sleep again after the session. That's okay. So, but we can cultivate good habits. All of us are waking up so easily in the morning. Why? Just because we love it. It relaxes us. It makes us feel good about it. Similarly, start taking care of your gardens, your greenery. We spoke about that even in Don't Worry. Just see the importance that is there in all of this. They are helping you heal from deep within. Every day you have a money plant in your house, not too much of a garden. Okay, go look after your money plant. Go look after your inner plant, whatever it is. The key to staying sharp at old age is in your fingers. From your fingers to your brains and back again. If you keep your fingers busy, you will live to see 100 years. Which means what? Kuch na kuch karte raho yaar. Don't just sit down. If you see a lot of old people, they're knitting. They are doing something or the other, better. Why? Because there's some movement. Start doing things that you love every day. Now, the last thing is very beautiful. I get up at 4 every day. I set my alarm for that time. I have a cup of coffee. I do a little exercise, lifting my arms. It gives me the energy for the rest of the day. I eat a bit of everything. I think that's the secret. I like variety in what I eat. I think it tastes better. So please, these are the times and everything. हम ये तो ये नहीं खाते, इससे allergy है, ये है. Tell yourself, I love life, I love food, and I'm going to have a little bit of everything. Not too much, but a little bit of everything. And if you don't work, your body breaks down. So working is very, very, very important. Till the last breath, keep working, keep walking, keep doing something or the other. Don't take retirement. I'm telling you the experience. I can see my grandparents. He says, I'm just 88, he says. My grandpa, my nanu, my bauji. He's all the time working for his share market, on his laptop. He's walking his steps, which he has to walk. And that's why they're so active mentally, physically, however, emotionally. So very important to do that. Now, of course, if you first thing in the morning, these people are praying to their ancestors. You can pray to whoever. We pray to the universe, Mother Earth, everything in between. Just see what works for you. I wake up every day at the same time, early, and spend the morning in my vegetable garden. I go dancing with my friends once a week. Dancing is a beautiful therapy. People, unfortunately, we stopped dancing long ago. We only dance at parties. How about making a ritual in your room and putting on the music and just dancing, you and your spouse, or just you and yourself? So that's also beautiful. And they say I do exercise every day and every morning and go for a little walk. So a bit of walk, a bit of exercise will keep you always healthy. You don't have to work it out. You don't have to flex those muscles in a gym. But yes, exercising every day and walking will be wonderful. They are doing the ice exercise, which we've seen before, is all about flexing your every single body part. Very simple to do, and we can do that. Now, eating vegetable helps you live longer, as they believe. So no meat, just vegetables, slowly cooked, slow food is what they believe. To live a long, happy life, you need to do 3 things. Exercise to stay healthy, eat well, and spend time with people. Number 3, nurture your friendships every day. So that's the most important part. Every single day they get together with their friends and they have the ikigai and they're coming together, they're talking, and they know they have each other's back. It's a favorite thing that they do. Chatting, having tea with them, just chatting, just being there. Being with people that you love is secret to a long life. Get that very, very, very clear. If I love you and I'm with you every day, I will grow younger every day because I know life's beautiful. I look forward to it. And then that's how the secret goes, and we will keep living longer and longer and longer. And the next page, they're talking about fact number 4. Live an unhurried life. There's nothing to hurry. सब हो जाएगा आराम से. Late होगा कहीं जाने के लिए, it's okay. क्या पहाड़ टूट पड़ा है? उसके लिए stress लेने क्या point है? So things happen in their own organic speed. Don't be so stressed out. Don't raise an issue about that. Yeah, even some people who go to the flights much in advance, okay, fine. You don't want to hurry up, you want to go slowly, fine. But don't get worked up. If going earlier is making you lighter, do that. If going later is also okay, if you believe that everything is fine, you will never miss your flight because you believe in it. So again, being calm is very, very, very important. Try to do things differently, the same thing differently every other day to give it a little variety. Always staying busy, but doing things one at a time without getting overwhelmed is also amazing. The last thing they're saying is the secret to long life is going to bed early, waking up early, going for a walk, living peacefully, enjoying the little things, getting along with your friends, spring, summer, fall, winter, enjoying every season happily. How beautiful. And the most important key, number 5, is being optimistic. So embrace an attitude of positivity that sab kuch acha hai. Ye hua hai is also for a good reason. Embrace it rather than challenging it, rather than questioning it, embrace it. I'm 98, but consider myself young. I still have so much to do. How beautiful. Laugh. Laughter is the most important thing. I laugh wherever I go. I'm going to live to be 100. Of course I am. It's a huge motivation for me. Dancing and singing with your grandchildren is the best thing to do. I feel very fortunate to have been born here. I give thanks for it every day. So again, counting your blessings. The most important thing in Ogimi is to keep smiling, to keep volunteering work, to go back, to give back to the society, to the village where they're living in. For example, this person says, I use my car to help friends get to the hospital. There is no secret to it. The trick is just to live. So every day when you have a gratitude prayer in the night or in the morning, morning could be about intention, could be about something which happened yesterday. Night could be what happened about the day. If you have a day which is like, yeah, everything went beautifully, more power to you. So this is what is the power of these wonderful people. 100% these people are living a life of very simplicity, of abundance, of happiness, and living longer. In the next page, they're talking about that each one of us is a part of some Moai. They feel cared for, they feel as if their family, they celebrate life every single day. Their purpose of life is helping them, and that's what they're taking it very seriously. And they do it. They're not taking life seriously too much. They're flowing, but they take the ikigai seriously because they're doing it. It relaxes them. They are traditional, they're cultural, they're passionate about everything they do. And it's just, it could be small. We talked about the lady who was making the brushes or people making the sushis. Small, large, doesn't matter. What they love is what they're doing. So that's what and they're keeping themselves busy, occupying themselves with tasks, something or the other. And that's how life is. They are into karaoke, they visit neighbors, they play a game of football, skateball, whatever they want. So yes, tomorrow we'll talk about the Ikigai diet. Today morning was so beautiful, right? Something all of us can live. Did it seem like, is it possible? If we thought that is it possible, then it is a question mark. Rahul sir, can we please change the book to the power of now? So let's tell ourselves that this life is very much possible and I will live it. The time we start questioning, are dikhne padhne mein acha hai, possible nahi hai. No, so it is. Now we have realized the power of our words. Whatever we say is what we get. So please be careful of your words. Start manifesting, affirming for what you really, really, really want in life. Because that is what life is all about. Today, I think it's a day of relationships because we've spoken about Muay, about cultures, about people. And today, even in the power of now, it's about enlightened relationships. Chapter 8, very, very beautiful. 8 is also the number of infinity. Now, relationships are infinite. All of us are born with our soulmates and the soul family. Just to tell you a bit, so we have done about each person having at least 5 soulmates. There was a PPT I shared when the session had begun long ago. Go through it if you have it in your sources, otherwise ask us for it. Each person is born with at least 5 soulmates. And each soulmate also has those 4 other people. They also have 5, right? And they're not the same 5. So you're pretty much in between 20, 25 people that you've chosen to come reincarnate on Mother Earth. If you do PLR seriously, you will find the same common faces with you and you'll see them in the distance. They are there. I'll give you an example. So when my brother has been in all my lives, all my lives. So when he was a Arabic king, my mom was by his side. I do not know the relationship. She was by his side. So who's mom for me in this life? She's my soul family. She's not my soulmate, but she's my soul family. And we're all nurturing each other. So relationships are beautiful. See for yourselves who makes you who you are. Get one thing very clear. Soulmates don't have to always be nicey ones, okay? Some of them will challenge you because they have to make your journey, that further your journey. So now, today's section is about enter the now from wherever you are. Jahan bhi aap hain, get into the now. The question was, I always thought that true enlightenment is not possible except through love in a relationship between a man and a woman. Isn't this what makes us whole again? How can one's life be fulfilled until that happens. So anyone believes in this? That you have to have a whole relationship with your opposite sex, and that's when you're whole? Your husband completes you, your wife completes you. Is that true in your experience? Has this happened to you? So the answer is no. So Shivani, that's the point. No, the answer is no. Yes, Akshay, you're right. You are whole and complete yourself. You don't need someone to complete you. You don't need a man or a woman to complete you. Your journey is your alone. You are reincarnating with people, but you don't need them to make you whole and complete. Now that's what this is all about. So when the question was said again, I'm going to rephrase, is that true in your experience? Has this happened to you? So the answer was not yet. But how could it be otherwise? I know that it will happen. In other words, you are waiting for an event in time to save you. Is this not the core error that we have been talking about? Salvation is not elsewhere in place or time. It is here in the now. We have it. It's unmanifested around us. All we have to do is tap it. The next question was, what does the statement mean? Salvation is here and now? I don't understand it. I don't even know what salvation means. So Sanya, please read what Eckhart Tolle says.
Most people pursue physical pleasures or various forms of psychological gratification because they believe that those things will make them happy or free them from a feeling of fear or lack. Happiness may be perceived as a heightened sense of aliveness attained through physical pleasure, or a more secure and more complete sense of self attained through some form of psychological gratification. This is the search for salvation from a state of unsatisfactoriness or insufficiency.
Let's stop at this. So yes, thank you, Jitendraji, for saying this page number is 121. So our angels are shining on us and telling us we're in the right track. So here we are. Just see, this page is all about enlightenment. This page is all about salvation. So that is a cue for us in this beautiful, soulful Sunday, that something is coming our way. So Eckhart says most people pursue physical pleasures or various forms of psychological gratification because they believe that those things will make them happy or free them from a feeling of fear or lack. So when I'm asking for something from someone, be it a compliment, I'm looking for instant gratification, instant acknowledgement. Why? Because I have that lack of love for myself. So I'm asking people for things. Happiness may be perceived as a heightened sense of aliveness attained through physical pleasure, or a more secure and more complete sense of self attained through some psychological gratification. So people are perceiving कि ऐसा सोचेंगे, ऐसा करेंगे तो ऐसा होगा तो हम खुश होंगे. If this happens, it'll make us happy. If that happens, it'll make us happy. He compliments me on the clothes I wear. Oh, मेरा वो कपड़ा खरीदना अच्छा हुआ. This lady compliments me on the bag that I'm using. Oh, फायदा हुआ जाने का. The person sees me driving my car. Oh yeah, now I find it amazing. Why are we looking for the world to give you gratification? Why can't you feel good about wearing an outfit just for yourself, or driving a car just for yourself? Why do people have to make you feel complete? In the entire pandemic, people, my besties, they were like, you're wearing solitaires at home, even in chutti mein pagal hai kya? I'm like, I'm wearing for myself, not for the world. That's something that I love. It's not that I'm wearing for people. I've worn the entire pandemic because I like it. I'm not looking for anybody else to make me whole and complete because I'm not psychologically dependent. All of us have to learn to become independent. Searching for salvation from a state of unsatisfactoriness or insufficiency is why because we are feeling kuch kam hai, kuch missing hai, puzzle ka piece fit nahi hua. So then, please understand, we are here and now, whole and complete. Everyone is complete. Prashant and Prachi are doing sessions. Prakash and Jigesh are doing sessions. Chandra and Ravi are doing sessions. But they are each whole, each complete, each healed. And each one of them should be so potentially strong that he or she does not seek for something from outside. Yes, you have a hug, wonderful, amazing, more power to you. That's beautiful. Why not? You are the messengers of love, so that's fine. But why are you looking for stuff outside? The day you find love inside yourself, you'll find completeness. Yes, please read the last line and we'll go on to the next.
Invariably, any satisfaction that they obtain is short-lived. So the condition of satisfaction or fulfillment is usually projected once again onto an imaginary point away from the here and now. When I obtain this, or am free of that, then I will be okay. This is the unconscious mindset that creates the illusion of salvation in the future. True salvation is fulfillment, peace, life in all its fullness. It is to be who you are, to feel within you the good that has no opposite, the joy of being that depends on nothing outside itself. It is felt not as a passing experience, but as an abiding presence. In thesis language, it is to know God, not as something outside you, but as your own innermost essence. True salvation is to know yourself as an inseparable part of the timeless and the formless one life form, from which all that exists derives its being.
So let's understand very clearly. True salvation is feeling fulfilled. मैंने कुछ किया, अच्छा किया, and I'm full and complete. I have a sense of doing something great. I'm at peace. Life is beautiful around me. It's to be with people that you love. It's to feel good about yourself. It's in the fact of being aware that, right now life is going on and I'm amazed and I love it. And now that is when you are completely whole and, complete. And that's when you'll be finding it in you're inching towards true salvation, because now you know yourself as an inseparable part of the timeless and formless one life from which all that exists is derived. So when there's oneness with people around, with the world around, then you know everything is wonderful. Then you absolutely at peace because everything you know has a reason. Let's read the next paragraph fully.
True salvation is a state of freedom from fear, from suffering, from a perceived state of lack and insufficiency, and therefore from all wanting, needing, grasping, and clinging. It is freedom from compulsive thinking, from negativity, and above all, from past and future as a psychological need. Your mind is telling you that you cannot get there from here. Something needs to happen, or you need to become this or that before you can be free and fulfilled. It is saying, in fact, that you need time, that you need to find, sort out, do, achieve, acquire, become, or understand something before you can be free or complete. You see time as the means to salvation, whereas in truth, it is the greatest obstacle to salvation. You think that you can't get there from here and who you are at this moment because you're not yet complete or good enough. But the truth is that here and now is the only point from where you can get there. You get there by realizing that you are there already. You find God the moment you realize that you don't need to seek God. So there is no only way to salvation. Any condition can be used, but no particular condition is needed. However, there is only one point of access, the now. There can be no salvation away from this moment. You are lonely and without a partner. Enter the now from there. You are in a relationship. Enter the now from there.
So very beautiful to understand that we have to get ourselves consciously free from suffering, from pain, from fear, from the perceived state of lack, which means ye kam hai, aisa ho jayega to aisa hoga. Start accepting right now the power of now in its wholeness, in its insufficiency being complete. Start accepting the present how it is. For example, if I have weight in my body right now, I should feel complete even with this weight. How does it matter? More of me to love. I'm not incapable of looking nice, right? Even if I so what? That's the problem. Acceptance doesn't come in. The minute you start accepting, you're free from wanting, needing, grasping, clinging. And that's when everything which is not required will start fading away, leaving your body. The minute we are free from compulsive thinking, from negativity, ये लेट हो गया, यहाँ ट्रैफिक मिल गया, अरे ये हो गया, ये एक्सीडेंट हो गया, ऐसा हो गया, ऐसा हो गया, लोग क्या बोलेंगे, लेट हो गए. You forget it. Forget it. Enjoy the moment. If the car is stopped for a reason, enjoy the moment. If the past was great, great, it was past. Whatever the future is, it'll be amazing. You just know yourself that jo hoga bahut acha hoga. So don't become a victim of thinking too much. मैं ये नहीं बोलती, again I'm reiterating, I am saying manifestation करो, लेकिन surrender करके free हो जाओ. Intention दे दी universe को, that's it. You feel it, great. Morning में think about it, great. But again, keep surrendering. Now tell yourself that I am perfect the way I am. I have everything the way I want because that's how it's meant to be. When you start saying this, gradually you're inching towards a world of salvation. Now, where you're getting in is just so beautiful. The truth is that you are getting there, not even realizing because it's effortless. The minute you start changing yourself into a person who's whole and complete, you're starting to grow more and more and more. So you are lonely without a partner is your belief. If you enter the world now, you're realizing, oh my God, I have the most important relationship with myself. And I have to be in the now. And the minute I find the relationship with myself, I am whole. I am complete. I don't need company. So, when people say, how do you go for solo holidays? Boring nahi hota. I'm like, no, it's the most amazing therapy. Those 3, 4, 5 days that I have just for myself is beautiful. Because I meet local people in their country, ask what they're doing, loving what they're doing. It's just so beautiful. It's a therapy by itself. I love it because it's just salvation because that time I'm whole and complete. I don't need people to tell me that, yes, I do what I want. That is why even the artist way, we were told to go out alone, pamper yourselves alone. Our mind can't even think about this, okay? It says, oh, no, I need people. I'm not worthwhile enough. I need company. There are people who don't travel as couples. They're looking for company. Why? They feel कोई और होगा तो मजा आएगा, अकेले बोरिंग हो जाता है. उनको अकेले कपल भी अकेले लगता है क्योंकि कपल में भी आपस में कैमराडरी नहीं है. They haven't found themselves. They're looking for friends. They're looking for family to travel because their mind is compulsively thinking कि और लोग चाहिए और. So try and tell yourself that I am whole and complete where I am. This is where life is and this is where I am. And keep going towards the power of now every now and then. So let's take a pause on this. Asana, you haven't read the last paragraph, have you? No, you haven't.
No.
Please read.
No. There's nothing you can ever do or attain that will get you closer to salvation than it is at this moment. This may be hard to grasp for a mind accustomed to thinking that everything worthwhile is in the future. Nor can anything that you ever did or that was done to you in the past prevent you from saying yes to what is and taking your attention deeply into the now. You cannot do this in the future. You do it now or not at all.
So again, jo hai abhi hai. Live this moment in its wholeness. Let's think about this as we close our eyes and take a pause. Let's enjoy the sound of silence. Whatever there is, it's in the power of now. I agree. I believe. I'm trying to inch towards it because I know this is where the holiness is. And so it is. Now let's talk about love and hate relationships. So yes, please.
Unless and until you access the consciousness, frequency of presence, all relationships, and particularly intimate relationships, are deeply flawed and ultimately dysfunctional. They may seem perfect for a while, such as when you are in love, but invariably, that apparent perfection gets disrupted as arguments, conflicts, dissatisfaction, and emotional or even physical violence occur in increasing frequency. It seems the most love relationships become hate relationship, become love-hate relationships before long. Love can then turn into savage attack, feelings of hostility, or complete withdrawal of affection at the flick of a switch. This is considered normal. The relationship then oscillates for a while, a few months or a few years, between the polarities of love and hate, and it gives you as much pleasure as it gives you pain. It is not uncommon for couples to become addicted to those cycles. Their drama makes them feel alive. When a balance between the positive negative polarities is lost and the negative destructive cycles occur with increasing frequency and intensity, which tends to happen sooner or later, then it will not be long before the relationship finally collapses. It may appear that if you could only eliminate the negative or destructive cycles, then all would be well and the relationship would flower beautifully. But alas, this is not possible.
So can you turn the page, please?
The polarities are mutually interdependent. You cannot have one without the other. The positive already contains within itself the as yet unmanifested negative. Both are, in fact, different aspects of the same dysfunction. I'm speaking here of what is commonly called romantic relationships, not of true love, which has no opposite because it arises from beyond the mind. Love as a continuous state is as yet very rare as conscious human beings. Brief and elusive glimpses of love, however, are possible whenever there is a gap in the stream of mind. The negative side of a relationship is, of course, more easily recognizable as dysfunctional than the positive one. And it is also easier to recognize the source of negativity in your partner than to see it in yourself. It can manifest in many forms: possessiveness, jealousy, control, withdrawal, and unspoken resentment. The need to be right, insensitivity, and self absorption, emotional demands and manipulation, the urge to argue, criticize, judge, blame, or attack, anger, unconscious revenge for past pain inflicted by a parent, rage, and physical violence.
Please understand one thing. All of this drama which we are sucked in is societal. We have grown up thinking about it. This is what has been taught to us. We've seen this, we've grown up with it. But if you start feeling love as the way love is meant to be, just be the channel of spreading love. And when you do for people, do without expectation, you will find a dramatic shift in your being. Even in your so-called relationship with your spouse. If you stop this drama of possessiveness, jealousy, ये क्यों किया, वो क्यों नहीं किया, ऐसे करना था, ये क्यों बोल दिया, वैसे नहीं बोलना था, yeah, if you have resentment about the past, ना उसके बारे में बात नहीं करी हो, अभी तक गांठ लेके बैठे हो, you're not able to let it go. Or the need to be, देखा मैं सही हूँ ना, I'm always right, तुम तो ऐसे करते हो, I'm always right. And you're insensitive, you're so absorbed in yourself, you have emotional demands, hug नहीं करते, kiss नहीं करते, for example, or you manipulating, ऐसा कर लो तो ऐसा हो जाएगा, या आपको एक फीलिंग है आर्ग्यू करने का, क्रिटिसाइज करने का, जज करने का, ब्लेम करने का, अटैक करने का, feeling angry, then this is where you are stuck. This is where your relationship is going to become stagnate. It's going to stagnate. What is a relationship actually? If you see the word, it's a ship. It's sailing. It's not stagnating. It's always meant to be on a journey. And it's relationships of two-way traffic, going, coming, going, coming, going, coming. And if you're just stuck up in a part of it, your ship will sink. It's got to move on. So now let's read the other part of it.
On the positive side, you are in love with your partner. This is at first a deeply satisfying state. You feel intensely alive. Your existence has suddenly become more meaningful because someone needs you, wants you, and makes you feel special. And you do the same for him or her. When you are together, you feel whole. The feeling can become so intense that the rest of the world fades into insignificance. However, you may also have noticed that there is a neediness and a clinging quality to that intensity. You become addicted to the other person. He or she acts on you like a drug. You are on a high when the drug is available, but even the possibility or the thought that he or she might no longer be there for you can lead to jealousy, possessiveness, attempts at manipulation through emotional blackmail, blaming and accusing, fear of loss. If the other person does leave you, this can give rise to the most intense hostility or the most profound grief and despair. In an instant, loving tenderness can turn into a savage attack or dreadful grief. Where is the love now? Can love change into its opposite in an instant? Was it love in the first place or just an addictive grasping and clinging?
Sanya,
Yes.
please read.
Okay. Addiction and the search for wholeness. Why should we become addicted to another person? The reason why the romantic love relationship in such an intense and universally sought after experience is that it seems to offer liberation from a deep seated state of fear, need, lack, and incompleteness that is a part of the human condition in its unredeemed and unenlightened state. There is a physical as well as psychological dimension to this state.
Let's understand what's happening. We are all wanting something. Now, this want has made you so addicted to getting that thing like a drug. Now you are just going towards any extent because you're not whole and complete. So are you really in love? Ask yourself. Are you really in love with that person? Or you're in love with yourself? And that too with your selfish self. Where it's all about I, me, and am. Where's the love? Why can't you let the person fly high? No strings attached. Just let them be. Now that will be true, pure love. They say in English that if it's not meant to be yours, it's not going to be. And if it's meant to be, it'll come back. So set it free. Let the person just free. Ultimately, he or she will come back if it's meant to be. So don't become addicted to people or even to things. Start feeling whole and complete. Now on the physical level, let's talk about it.
On this physical level, you're obviously not whole, nor will you ever be. You are either a man or a woman, which is to say, one half of the whole. On this level, the longing for wholeness, the return to oneness, manifests as male female attraction, man's need for a woman, woman's need for a man. It is almost an irresistible urge for union with the opposite energy polarity. The root of this physical urge is a spiritual one, the longing for an end to duality, a return to the state of wholeness. Sexual union is the closest you can get to this state on the physical level. This is why it is the most deeply satisfying experience the physical realm can offer. But sexual union is no more than a fleeting glimpse of wholeness, an instant of bliss. As long as it is unconsciously sought as a means of salvation, you are seeking the end of duality on the level of form, where it cannot be found. You are giving a tantalizing glimpse of heaven, but you are not allowed to dwell there and find yourself again in a separate body.
So again, Eckhart Tolle has talked about male-female attraction. I'm not going to say it's male-female attraction. It could be male-male attraction, female-female attraction. So this is little sexism. There are all sorts of people and we should respect each one. But the thing to understand in this chapter is that sexual union is the closest you can get to this state of physical level where you feel an eternal connection. And that connection, when you have, you're just feeling, oh, it's amazing. You're feeling great. Why? Because it's just a little fraction of what you haven't even experienced without going for it. That bliss. Oh, yeah, this is complete. So, what are we seeking? Whether it's a physical relationship, intimacy, what are we seeking? Why are we finding ourselves separate? Now, let's hear about the psychological level.
On the psychological level, the sense of lack and incompleteness is, if anything, even greater than on a physical level. As long as you are identified with the mind, you have an externally derived sense of self. That is to say, you get your sense of who you are from things that ultimately have nothing to do with who you are, your social role, possessions, external appearance, successes and failures, belief systems, and so on. This false mind made self, the ego, feels vulnerable, insecure, and is always seeking new things to identify with to give it a feeling that it exists. But nothing is ever enough to give it lasting fulfillment. Its fear remains, its sense of lack and neediness remains.
So just tell yourself one thing. Socially, what's the role that you're playing? If you're bound to have successes, you're bound to have failures, you're bound to have belief systems. The belief systems can be changed. That we've already seen in the power of subconscious mind. Now, this false self mind made, the ego, you're feeling vulnerable, you're feeling insecure, you're always looking for things to complete you. Change that. Start telling yourself, I am whole and complete. I am healed. So that you're not looking for any kind of fulfillment from outside. And you just complete by yourself. Start saying it and it'll automatically unfold. Now let's read the next page.
But then that special relationship comes along. It seems to be the answer to all the ego's problems and to meet all its needs. At least this is how it appears at first. All the other things that you derived your sense of self from before now become relatively insignificant. You now have a single focal point that replaces them all, gives meaning to your life, and through which you define your identity, the person you are in love with. You are no longer a disconnected fragment in an uncaring universe, and so it seems. Your world now has a center, the loved one. The fact that the center is outside you and that, therefore, you still have an externally derived sense of self does not seem to matter at first. What matters is that the underlying feelings of incompleteness, of fear, lack, and unfulfillment, so characteristic of the egoic state, are no longer there. Or are they? Have they dissolved? Or do they continue to exist underneath the happy surface reality? If in your relationship you experience both love and the opposite of love, attack, emotional violence, and so on, then it is likely that you are confusing ego attachment and addictive clinging with love. You cannot love your partner one moment and attack him or her the next. True love has no opposite. If your love has an opposite, then it is not love, but a strong ego need for a more complete and deeper sense of self, a need that the other person temporarily meets. It is the ego's substitute for salvation, and for a short time, it almost does feel like salvation. But here comes a point when your partner behaves in ways that fail to meet your needs, and rather those of your ego. The feelings of fear, pain, and lack are an intrinsic part of egoic consciousness, but had been covered up by the love relationship now surface. Just as with every other addiction, you are on a high when the drug is available, but invariably there comes a time when the drug no longer works for you. When those painful feelings reappear, you feel them even more strongly than before. And what is more, you now perceive your partner as the cause of those feelings. This means that you project them outward and attack the other with all the savage violence that is part of your pain. This attack may awaken the partner's own pain, and he or she may counter your attack. At this point, the ego is still unconsciously hoping that its attack and its attempts at manipulation will be sufficient punishment to induce your partner to change their behavior so that it can use them again as a cover up for your pain.
So get this very, very clearly. Your relationships that you're experiencing about love, about happiness are wonderful. But if you are loving a person and criticizing him or her for something which is, according to you, not right, which means it's all about egoism. मेरे perspective से ठीक नहीं है, so it's wrong. It's addiction. I don't believe in it, so it's wrong. Now that is a time when you're trying to correct the other person. So yes, if it's a physical problem, you can correct, for example, somebody's into smoking, drinking heavily or something, and that's okay. But don't have egoistic attitude. Don't. Drop that very, very beautifully. Love conquers the world. Your love for him or her will make him or her change completely. So yes, do that. Give that kind of a person love. Be in a love relationship. Don't let egoism take over. Because when egoism comes, painful feelings come, and that's when you're not able to find yourself complete. So stop attacking yourself and the other person. Stop feeling that thing about the other person not being great. Stop manipulating him or her. Stop inducing that feeling in your partner. Stop covering up the pain because you're unconsciously addicted to finding yourself being the supremo. So stop being that. Yes, Sanya, let's read.
Every addiction arises from an unconscious refusal to face and move through your own pain. Every addiction starts with pain and ends with pain. Whatever the substance you are addicted to, alcohol, food, legal or illegal drugs, or a person, you are using something or somebody to cover up your pain. That is why, after the initial euphoria has passed, there is so much unhappiness, so much pain in intimate relationships. They do not cause pain and unhappiness. They bring out the pain and unhappiness that is already in you. Every addiction does that. Every addiction reaches a point where it does not work for you anymore. Then you feel the pain more intensely than ever. There's one reason why most people are always trying to escape from the present moment and are seeking some kind of salvation in the future. The first thing that they might encounter, if they focus their attention on the now, is their own pain. And this is what they fear. If they only knew how easy it is to access in the now, the power of presence that dissolves the past and its pain, the reality that dissolves the illusion. If they only knew how close they are to their own reality, how close to God. Avoidance of relationships in an attempt to avoid pain is not the answer either. The pain is there anyway. 3 failed relationships in as many years are more likely to force you into awakening than 3 years on a desert island or shut away in your room. If you could bring intense presence into your aloneness, that would work for you too.
So just understand one more thing, that all of us are in this life for a reason. Now, that reason is that we are whole and complete, and we found another whole and complete person, and it's more power to us. But gradually, when the initial phase is gone, when the initial love feeling is gone, that is when you can start seeing the problems in the other person. That's when you're causing pain to yourself. You're suffering. You're telling the other person, oh, ye aisa hona chahiye. Because that's the ideal image you've had. And then you're addicted to proving that you're the right one. And that's when people are trying to escape. And remember one thing, if you and I consciously pull ourselves into the present, the power of now, the present is beautiful. There's no suffering here. Suffering is happening because of a conditioning of mind of the past. So why can't we drop all of it and just see this is the present, this is beautiful. So let's understand that we are here. The world's beautiful. But our reality is an illusion if we're making it into something which is just not what it's meant to be. What is our reality? We talked about spirituality. What is spirituality? Spirit's actual reality. What's the actual reality? That we are love and we are light. And then we've darkened our world with lack of light, because light is there, but you just put so much on it, you can't see the light. So start dissolving your past. Start not thinking about your pain. Tell yourself this, the present is beautiful. This is where I am, this is where I need to be there. And when you're going to avoid your I, me, and am, or changing the person, then you're going to have a marvelous relationship, firstly with yourself and then with the others. Even with ourselves, we've had failed relationships, and we are kind of harboring on that, harping about it. That is when the problem comes. मुझसे तो नहीं हो पाएगा, मैं तो बहुत बार ट्राई किया, नहीं होता. That's a conditioning. So please reinvent yourselves, give your that area a lot of love. Because when you give that lot of love, the very fact that you're alone is no longer there. It's like, I have myself, I have my own back. And the day you start saying that, life's going to become amazing. So Asmeet's question is, not being affected from someone in relationship, won't it take you away from him? No, it's going to bring you closer, because you will start seeing him as whole, as complete, and loving everything about him, even the flaws in him. Because now you're not judging. When you want him to be in a particular way, you're in this beautiful disease called judgmental. You're being it's a mental disease. But the minute you start accepting him for who he is, how he is, firstly, that will be the trigger of change. He will become better. Because you're flowing in love, you have an intention for him, and he'll organically go to that intention. That's how people change. Yes, unconditional love, it's easy to say, but unconditional love is not possible. It's very easy to say. Our love is mostly conditional. Ask yourself someday, am I expecting something from him or her in return? And all of us expecting. All of us expecting. From a parent, from a partner, from a child, from a colleague, we all are always expecting. The day we stop expecting, and where will that happen? Because we know we are whole and complete. Yes, सब कुछ तो है मेरे पास. I'm whole and complete. जो चाहिए मैं तो ले लेता हूँ आराम से. सब मिल जाता है. जब मैं इतना whole and complete हूँ, मुझे दूसरों से अपने आप को complete करने की feeling नहीं आएगी. Parents क्यों बच्चों को इतना वो बनाते हैं? ये dream कर ले, वो कर ले, वो कर ले, वो कर ले. क्यों? Somewhere they're living their dreams through him or her, their child. So get this very clear, that we are talking about a world where we're trying to learn to accept and be in the power of now, because this is the eternal reality. This is it. The power of now is everything. Let's just have a second silence on this and see where we are. Let's close our eyes. I am in the power of now. Consciously, I'm deciding to always pull myself in the power of now, because this is the most blissful state there is, and so it is. Thank you so much, Rahul sir, for showcasing this book. Thank you so much for Sanya for reading this beautiful book. We'll now read the heart thought, and then we'll meditate. Today's meditation would be about silence. It'll be about your soul connection. Whatever thoughts are coming, let them come. If you're going to stop them, they're going to expand. So if any thought comes, just let it come, not expanding on it. And we'll see what's going to happen. Today's about thoughts. How beautiful. That's what the meditation is also all about. I dwell on positive thoughts. When good comes into our lives, and if we deny it by saying, I don't believe it, we literally push our good away. Imagine that thoughts are like drops of water. When you think the same thoughts over and over and over again, you are creating this incredible body of water. First, you have a little puddle, then you may get a pond. And as you continue to think the same thoughts over and over and over again, you have a lake. And finally, an ocean. If your thoughts are negative, you can drown in a sea of your own negativity. If your thoughts are positive, you can float in the ocean of life. Isn't this absolutely soulful? Our body has 70% water. And this is what we're creating. Either a little puddle, a little pond, a little lake. This lake, this pond, this puddle could be negative or positive. So what are we dwelling on? Today's silence meditation, we'll just have some music and just see what's coming. Can you become silent without thinking anything? Or are your thoughts coming? Are the thoughts positive, which you can harp on, imagine, and kind of enjoy a manifestation? Or are they not? Ideally, today would be, that's ideal. That's not something which it has to be, but just saying it should be about silence. And how will silence happen? When we start concentrating on our breath work. And then see that how long can you manage without any thought. And you can share this after we are done with the meditation. Thank you, Rahul sir, for showcasing this beautiful book. Watch your postures. If you wish, you can take a little back support, if you wish. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. See the gap. And exhale. Now we're going to silence, where each one of us is concentrating on our breathing only. If thoughts come, let them come, don't expand them, and let them go. What comes will go. So let's start working on our breath work. Let's start. Observe your breathing. The gap after you inhale, the gap after you exhale. Focus your attention back on the breathing. If you're in a world of thoughts, bring yourself back in a world of breathing. I am silence. I flow. If thoughts come, I let them come. I go back to observing my breathing. I thank my breath work, my lungs, my breathing. I thank the body. I thank the mind. I thank the soul. I thank Mother Earth. I thank my life. I thank our universe. I thank the galaxy of stars, the divinity, the angels. I appreciate the presence of guardians. I am safe. I am protected. I thank being a channel of love and light. I keep re-insisting, I am love. I am light. I am blessed. I am abundant. And now I'm silent. We can now rub our hands, bless our conscious subconscious for restructuring, reprogramming, unlearning, and learning. Our wonderful face with the 5 senses, our neck, our food pipe with the spiritual energy and food inside, our shoulders that are light, our arms that are beautiful, our lower back, middle back, upper back, spinal cord, hips, our chest, lungs, heart, the entire gut area, sexual organs, excretory organs, legs up to low. Let's thank the trillions of cells in our body, the 100,000 kilometers of blood circulation system, the 70% water, the air, the fire, the space, the earth. The glands, the bones, dearest, beautiful, magical body. You are radiating in love, and I invoke the energy that flows in you to bless my loved Sangha, their loved beings, and all beings on Mother Earth. Love, light, and blessings, Kripa, Rima, Sanya, Hina, Kavita, Prashant, Shelly, Prakash, Jigisha, Rigu, Naveen, Nikita, Nisha, Salish, Alona, Sakshi, Chandra, Ravi, Shilpa, Vandana, Siddharth, Ankur, Shami, Asmeet, Yanji, Ushaji, Mudita, Neetu, Bhuvan, Akshay, Pratimaji, Shruti, Rohiniji, Peena, Anju, Monica, Alifia, Shivani, Poonam, Nehal, Badri, Jitendraji. You be. Thank you, Rahul sir. Thank you for this beautiful morning. Thank you to our full team. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To Sanjay sir, to Shweta, to Amrita, to Ritesh sir. Thank you so much. So how was it feeling? Could you enjoy the silence or a lot of thoughts were coming? And it's okay to feel whatever you did. Let's just see where we are. You felt amazing. Very gradually, I want us to just shift from even having a music backup. Right now was probably the first day that we were in silence. Very few thoughts, beautiful, flowing, very nice, very light. You enjoyed the silence. You felt great. You felt relaxed. Sometimes we'll realize that thoughts, words, music is not important. Yes, that's powerful, Neetu. That's powerful. You felt like your breath is controlling your thoughts. How beautiful. How beautiful. You went back to Vipassana. How amazing. Few thoughts. Thoughts were coming, but kept on coming back to concentrating on the breath. Yes, that's the beauty. Thoughts were coming randomly, flowing, peaceful, amazing. So now let's practice this and let's try not have music for maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes. This way, we are increasing our muscle of retention, a muscle of silence. We're increasing it. So let's start going for this. Let's not become adheen of music also. We are using music right now, yes. But let the AC's voice or the birds chirping or the whatever, even the sound of the mixer if you're near a kitchen, if your bedroom is, let that become the sound which guides you. But your breath work is taking your attention. The minute initially we are going to be concentrating on our breath, but later on, it'll come organic. We won't even have to use our breath. It'll just be there. 1 hour, you'll be able to sit and not move at all. And that's pure meditation. So enjoy this bliss, enjoy this beautiful day of this soulful Sunday. Do what you love best and have a wonderful day. So thank you for joining in and let's meet each other tomorrow at 5. So thank you, thank you, thank you. How wonderful.